In the silence of the lunar night, a bright outpost once stood proudly against the endless black sky. Built to last decades, it was humanity's foothold beyond Earth, a promise of colonization and exploration. Yet when Mission Control checked its status one morning, the outpost had simply vanished. No alarms, no explosions, no distress signals. Just darkness where once lights had burned. What could erase an entire base overnight without leaving a trace? Tonight, we unravel the chilling mystery of the moon outpost that disappeared without warning. The Lunar Outpost 7, constructed in 2061, was considered indestructible. Built inside the rim of Shackleton Crater, it used solar arrays to power laboratories, living quarters, and communication towers. 12 crew members called it home, rotating shifts while transmitting research back to Earth. They were studying the crater's icy deposits, searching for resources to fuel deeper space travel. For weeks, their reports spoke of progress oxygen extracted from ice, crops sprouting in hydroponics, machines humming steadily. Then, on the 43rd day, Earth received a strange transmission. The voice was warped, heavy with static. It watches us from the shadows. Minutes later, silence. When the next supply ship arrived, the outpost was gone. No crew, no structures, no debris, just untouched lunar dust. Investigators struggled to explain what had happened. Some believed a catastrophic collapse buried the base beneath lunar soil. Yet high-resolution scans showed no disturbance. Others suggested an equipment failure, but that did not explain why every building, every antenna, every trace of human life had been erased as though it had never existed. Then there were the whispers. Satellite logs recorded faint electromagnetic pulses around the moon that night, patterns not consistent with natural sources. They pulsed in sequences, like coded messages. A few analysts claimed the signals originated not from deep space, but from beneath the moon's surface. If true, what force beneath the ancient crust had the power to make a colony vanish into nothingness? Theories spiraled, each darker than the last. One recovered audio file deepened the terror. It was discovered in a backup relay that had continued to transmit even after the outpost vanished. The recording lasted only 11 seconds. At first, the sound of heavy breathing. Then, a terrified whisper. "They are inside. Don't let them in," followed by a piercing tone so sharp it damaged receivers. Experts replayed the file countless times. Some swore they could hear additional voices overlapping, speaking in a language no human could recognize. Others insisted the whisper was not human at all, but an imitation something copying speech imperfectly. When the file leaked online, millions listened, but no one could agree on what it meant. To this day, the tape is locked in archives, marked classified, sealed from public view. Conspiracy theories flourished. Some argued the outpost was destroyed by Earth itself, erased to conceal a failed experiment. Others claimed it was the work of extraterrestrial intelligence, a warning to stay away from the moon's hidden depths. Ancient myths resurfaced, stories of lunar beings, of gods who lived in shadow, of watchers who despised intruders. The lack of evidence only fueled speculation. Yet the most unsettling theory came from within the investigation team. One analyst proposed that the outpost had not been destroyed at all. Instead, he suggested, it had been shifted, pulled into another dimension, folded neatly out of existence. In his report, a single chilling sentence was underlined twice. The moon took it back. To test the theory, probes were sent to the Shackleton Crater. Some returned normal images of an empty landscape, but others captured anomalies, faint outlines of structures that seemed to flicker in and out, as though half submerged in reality itself. Engineers dismissed them as glitches, but investigators whispered of ghosts' buildings trapped between dimensions, visible only when the veil thinned. Radio enthusiasts who scanned lunar frequencies claimed they still picked up voices. Faint conversations, distorted by static, repeating phrases like, cycle reset, cycle reset, cycle reset. Were they echoes from the past, looping endlessly? Or transmissions bleeding through from wherever the outpost had gone? Each discovery raised more questions, none with answers. As decades passed, Lunar Outpost 7 became legend. A ghost story told among astronauts, a warning whispered in training halls. Missions to Shackleton still avoid the precise coordinates where the base once stood. Officially, the disappearance is described as an unsolved accident. Unofficially, many believe the moon guards its secrets with jealousy. A recent rover captured something haunting. Tracks in the dust, fresh footprints, though no mission was active at the site. The prints led toward an empty crater wall and stopped abruptly, as though the walker had stepped into thin air. The rover malfunctioned minutes later, transmitting a single word repeated 5 times before dying. Here, 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 here. Some ask why the outpost's mystery still matters. The answer is simple. It reminds us that even as humanity expands, we remain fragile in the face of the unknown. The moon, so close, so familiar, may not be empty rock, but something far stranger. The disappearance of Lunar Outpost 7 is more than a tragedy, it is a message. To this day, governments refuse to disclose certain data about that night. Amateur astronomers swear they can see faint glows at Shackleton, like lights struggling to pierce the veil. Others claim to hear signals on private radios, voices repeating words backwards, distorted but persistent. They do not sound human, and yet they seem to be calling names. Names of the missing crew. The moon outpost that disappeared overnight remains one of space's greatest mysteries. Was it buried, erased, or pulled away by forces beyond comprehension? Perhaps we will never know. But each time we look at the glowing face of the moon, we should remember, it is not silent. It has watched Earth since the beginning, and perhaps it does not welcome company. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and never forget, in the shadows of the moon, someone or something may still be waiting.